You have a small budget, but still want to play PC games. If so, today's build is for you. It's around the Ryzen 5 3600 and GTX 1660 Super. The whole system will come to around $420. So here's a little build that I put together. It's just under $400. The main part of this build revolves around getting a Ryzen 5 3600 from AliExpress. You can regularly get these for about $50 with a coupon that they happen to have pretty much always. It takes a little bit to get there, but you're going to save a bunch of money here. If you don't really want to use AliExpress, you're probably talking add $25 to this build. We added this cooler in here. This is a little better than the Wraith Stealth cooler. There were a few motherboard choices. This one happened to have Wi-Fi and it looked like it had two slots for SSDs. As with most of these AM4 builds, there is 16 gigs of memory and it's DDR4 3200, and you want to make sure it's CL16, not 22 or 18 for 3200, otherwise it'll just be slower. Part of the build, we're going to have TEAMGROUP MP33 Pro. It's 512 gigabytes. It was one that had reasonable speeds for PCIe 3. This video card is just a placeholder here. Generally, you're going to be able to find the GTX 1660 Super 6 gigabyte for about $75 or so on eBay. You might have to look a little bit, but for this budget, this is definitely a pretty decent card. You certainly could buy a 1070 8 gigabyte for a little bit more, probably $85, $90 when I was doing this. There are some cheaper cases, but they're pretty much like not very good. They don't come with fans. This Fractal Pop Air is very good for this price of $50. And if you build a new computer down the road, it should still be workable for you. At this price, you pretty much have to do this Thermaltake Smart 500 watt power supply. Otherwise, you're going to be spending another $10 or $15 at least. But for this low-end build, it's perfectly fine. The 500 watts is more than enough to cover all this. The estimated wattage was only 284 watts, so definitely will work. And depending on whether you care about the little watermark thing on the bottom, you may have to spend a little bit of money on Windows license. So you're going to be like probably $410 or so if you need to buy a license. Anyway, I hope you find this build guide useful. If you do, just give us a like or subscribe down below. If there's anything that you would change in this build to make it better, or something I overlooked, feel free to make comments down below.